Primrose has a few main play modes, including Quickplay and Journal Play. If you tried out our demo during Steam Next Fest or any of the conventions we've attended, Quickplay was the first thing you were introduced to, but it wasn't the first thing we developed. The first mode we made, the only mode that existed in the classic 2010 version, was Journal Play. We love Journal Play, but it caused a lot of issues with onboarding. So for the remake, we set out to add a Quickplay mode with 3 goals in mind. Journal Play gives Primrose an extra layer of strategic depth, but those extra layers proved challenging for newcomers. Players barely had a chance to get used to the dynamics of pruning and watering before a scorecard would swoop in and ask them to consider a whole new facet of the strategy. We needed to build a ladder to help players climb over that wall. By pulling the scorecard completely out of the equation, we gave the players space to get familiar with the garden first. Once we introduced Quickplay to our onboarding, players who went on to discover Journal Mode often found the extra layer to be a helpful focus instead of an intimidating obstacle. Primrose takes a lot of inspiration from board games and dice games, and because of this, Journal Play has inherited much of the pacing of a board game. Although this is great for when you've got the time to kick back and relax and really get engrossed in the game, we also wanted something for players who wanted something more bite-sized. A 3-round format compared to the 10-round Journal Play struck a nice balance. It's a snappy play style that fits neatly into a coffee break, but having 3 rounds instead of just 1 makes for an experience where a player's skill gets to shine through more than the whims of a random number generator. Introductory mode doesn't need to mean easy mode. It was important to us that Quickplay would be something that stood on its own alongside Journal Play instead of being something that players outgrew after a week. Although Quickplay is easier for a new player to pick up compared to Journal Play, many players find it harder to master. Where Journal Play lets the player get a good score by focusing on one thing at a time, getting the highest ranks in Quickplay requires you to consider the entire garden at once. While watching playtesters, we would see them get a better understanding of the game during Journal Mode, and then be able to take those new skills back to Quickplay to try for higher scores. We hope you'll find the 2 separate modes, to be played in tandem with weekly and monthly challenges, to act like a pair of walls you can bounce back and forth off of and propel yourself ever upwards.